That one cosplayer here with
Cera.
my friend, long time friend. We finally got together. Not that way. That sounds so wrong. No. But we are here to celebrate 31 days of Halloween. As you guys know, I posted my first day last night, and today we are doing the second day of Halloween. And you want to say what story we're going to be reading?
The Rake.
We're reading The Rake. I don't know if this is the official story of The Rake or if it's just like someone saw The Rake or something like that. I don't know. I just went on their website and put on The Rake. So how this is gonna go, I'll read part of the story, she'll read part of the story, and we'll flip-flop like that. And initially we wanted to do this video in front of an abandoned house. but
The setup. We couldn't get the setup correct.
The setup. So I'm gonna go ahead and start reading. Events in the northeastern United States involving a strange human-like creature sparked brief local media interest before an apparent blackout was indicated. Little or no information was left intact, as most online and written accounts of the creature were mysteriously destroyed. Primarily focused in Royal New York State, self-proclaimed witnesses told stories of their encounters with the creature of unknown origin. Emotions ranged from extremely traumatic levels of fright and discomfort to an almost childlike sense of playfulness and curiosity. While their published visions are no longer on record, the memories remain powerful. Several of the involved parties began looking for answers that year.
In early 2006, the collaboration had accumulated nearly 24 documents dating between the 12th century and present day, spanning 4 continents. In almost all cases, the stories were identical. I've been in contact with a member of this group and was able to get some excerpts from their upcoming book.
The Rake, a suicide note, 1964. As I prepare to take my life, I feel it necessary to assuage any guilt and pain I have introduced throughout this act. It is not the fault of anyone other than him, for once I awoke and felt his presence, and once I awoke and saw his form. Once again I awoke and heard his voice, and looked into his eyes. I cannot sleep without fear of what I might next wake to experience. I can't ever wake. Goodbye. Found in the same wooden box were 2 empty envelopes addressed to William and Rose, and 1 loose personal letter with no envelope. Dearest Lenny, I have prayed for you. He spoke your name.
A journal entry translated from Spanish, 1880. I have experienced the greatest terror. I have experienced the greatest terror. I have experienced the greatest terror. I see his eyes when I close mine. They are hollow, black. He saw me and pierced me. His wet hand, I will not sleep. His voice.
A Mariner's Log, 1691. He came to me in my sleep. From the foot of my bed, I felt a sensation. He took everything. We must return to England. We shall not return here again at the request of the Rake.
From a witness, 2006. 3 years ago, I had just returned from a trip from Niagara Falls with my family for the 4th of July. We were all very exhausted after a long day of driving, so my husband and I put the kids right to bed and called it a night. At about 4 a.m., I woke up thinking my husband had gotten up to use the restroom. I used the moment to sew back the sheets, only to wake him in the process. I apologized and told him I thought he got out of bed. When he turned to face me, he gasped and pulled his feet from the end of the bed so quickly his knee almost knocked me out of the bed. He then grabbed me and said nothing. After adjusting to the dark for half a second, I was able to see what caused the strange reaction. At the foot of the bed, sitting and facing away from us, there was what appeared to be a naked man or a large hairless dog of some sort. Its body position was disturbing and unnatural, as if it had been hit by a car or something. For some reason, I was not instantly frightened by it, but more concerned as to its condition. At this point, I was somewhat under the assumption that we were supposed to help him. My husband was peering over his arm and knee, tucked into the fetal position, occasionally glancing at me before returning to the creature. In a flurry of motion, the creature scrambled around the side of the bed and then crawled, quickly in a flailing sort of motion, right along the bed until it was less than a foot away from my husband's face. creature was completely silent for about 30 seconds, or probably closer to 5. It seemed like a while, just looking at my husband. The creature then placed its hand on his knee and ran into the hallway leading to the kids' rooms.
I screamed and ran for the light switch, planning to stop him before he hurt my children. When I got to the hallway, the light from the bedroom was enough to see it crouching and hunched over about 20 feet away. He turned around and looked directly at me, covered in blood. I flipped the switch on the wall and saw my daughter, Cera. The creature ran down the stairs while my husband and I rushed to help our daughter. She was very badly injured and spoke only once more in her short life. She said, "He is the Rake." My husband drove his car into a lake that night. While rushing our daughter to the hospital, he did not survive. Being a small town, news got around pretty quickly. The police were helpful at first, and the local newspaper took a lot of interest as well. However, the story was published, and the local television news never followed up either. For several months, my son Justin and I stayed in a hotel near my parents' house. After we decided to return home, I began looking for answers myself. I eventually located a man in the next town over who had a similar story. We got in contact and began talking about our experiences. He knew of 2 other people in New York who had seen the creature we now refer to as the Rake. It took the 4 of us about 2 solid years of hunting on the internet and writing letters to come up with a small collection of what we believed to be accounts of the Rake. None of them gave any details, history, or follow-up. One journal had an entry involving the creature in its first 3 pages and never mentioned it again. A ship's log explained nothing of the encounter, saying only that they were told to leave by the Rake. That was the last entry in the log. There were, however, many instances where the creature's visit was one of a series of visits with the same person. Multiple people also mentioned being spoken to, my daughter included. This led us to wonder if the Rake had visited any of us before our last encounter. I set up a digital recorder near my bed and left it running all night, every night, for 2 weeks. I would continuously scan through the sounds of me rolling around in my bed each day when I woke up. By the end of the second week, I was quiet, used to the occasional sound of sleep, while blaring through the recording at 8 times the normal speed. On the first day of the 3rd week, I thought I heard something different. What I found was a shrill voice. It was the Rake. I can't listen to it long enough to even begin to describe it. I haven't let anyone listen to it yet. All I know is that I've heard it before, and I now believe that it spoke when it was sitting in front of my husband. I don't remember hearing anything at the time, but for some reason, the voice in the recorder immediately brings me back to that moment. The thoughts that must have gone through my daughter's head make me very upset. I have not seen the Rake since. He ruined my life, but I know that he has been in my room while I slept. I know and fear. Sorry, road. I know and fear that one night I'll wake up to see him staring at me. So that was the story of the Rake. I actually thought it was gonna be the whole backstory of the Rake. How every creepypasta has some background info to them.
Like who he was.
Like who they were. For example, you guys know I done Jeff last night. His had a huge background, and it was actually his background story. Slender Man has a background story, so does Eyeless Jack, Ben, Laughing Jack. They all have some background info to them. And I thought that was going to be it, but I guess not. That was still pretty creepy.
No one just knows who the Rake is.
The Rake is a mystery. You guys, send us requests, or send me requests. I might get her to do some with me later. If you guys want us to actually research if this is actually real, if it's just not some made-up story, if the Rake could actually be historically,
These may be true.
Yeah, these may be true. I mean, Jeff the Killer might actually be a killer somewhere, or
you never know, guys.
Slender Man has actually had recorded history background to him. So you guys let us know if you want us to do these kind of things, and we'll be more than happy to. So comment, subscribe, comment if you want more content with her, because she is the bomb. Give me a hug. Because she is like a sister. True. So thank you guys, and this has been That One Cosplayer with second day of 31 Days of Halloween. Bye. Lit. That was lit, bro. Lit.